The M90A shotgun from the Halo warbond might only have light armor penetration, but its insane stagger makes it one of the best tools for absolutely dominating Predator bug territories. Today, we're putting it through the ringer on Helldiver difficulty to see if it's actually worth your medals. This isn't just another weapon review, we're going straight into the heart of the swarm, a deep dive into the bot front, and get entrenched in the Squid front, just to see if the shotgun lives up to legend, and more importantly, if it deserves a permanent spot in your loadout. Alright, before we drop into the hellscape, let's talk stats. The M90A is on the very last page of the new warbond, and is a weapon that has everyone talking. On paper, the stat card looks wild. It boasts a massive 605 total damage per shot. To put that into perspective, that's almost 50% more damage than the fan favourite SG Punisher. It also fires at a solid 80 RPM and has that all important round reload trait, which lets you top off your 6 shell tube 1 shell at a time, just like the Punisher. That means you can fire a shot, reload the shot, and keep the gun almost constantly ready, which is a huge tactical advantage. It also comes with 6 into capacity, which is small, but the round reload feature does help improve this weakness. Lastly, it comes with a 65 ergonomic, which makes it snappy up close, and does not have any additional features when inspecting a weapon outside or if you turn your flashlight on and off. So basically, you have been given a very basic boomstick that in the right hands can obliterate a vast majority of enemies in one shot. But here's the catch, the one stat that the community has split on: light armor penetration rounds. In a game where medium armor pen is often seen as the bare minimum for a primary to be viable, this makes a lot of divers hesitant. Why spend your medals on a primary that can't punch through a hive guard's armor or the face of a biosphere? Well, that's the million medal question, isn't it? Is all that raw power and crowd control enough to make up for its biggest weakness? Think about it. While having medium pen would allow us to destroy enemies with armor fairly easily, it would most likely end up being the most go-to weapon for any front you're on because of how powerful it is. It can one-shot front the enemies fairly easily, and stagger is powerful enough to deal with predator strain bugs easily as well. So does it, having light pen, really make it as bad as people keep mentioning? Well, let's find out. We've picked up Proving Ground, a Helldive mission on a planet crawling with the infamous predator bug strain. You know the ones, the sub-faction, which is all about speed and aggression, throwing swarms of the fastest, twitchiest, and most terrifying bugs at you. If a weapon is going to prove its worth in a close quarter brawl, this is it. This is the kind of place where one wrong move, one moment of being overwhelmed, means you're bug food. Our first encounter is exactly what we're looking for, a patrol of hunters, skittering and leaping around like they always do. An assault rifle would have you backpedaling and spraying, just hoping to hit them. With the M90A, it's a completely different story. The first shot hits the lead hunter, and it doesn't just tickle it, it stops it dead in its track. The stagger is instant and absolute. Now a quick follow up, and it just dissolves into green glue. The pellet spread is surprisingly tight for a shotgun, meaning that even from a dozen meters out, you're landing that full 605 damage. One shot, one kill. The rest of the pack also gets the same. The M90A isn't just killing them, it's controlling them. It turns a frantic, chaotic fight into a simple, manageable execution, which is why this is ideal on the bug front. But hunters are just the appetizers. The main course is the stalkers, brew commanders, etc., who are more tanky to take down. These enemies, while powerful and upgraded in their own rights, aren't as bad as you think with the following. Stalkers only take 2 to 3 shots to neutralize them, which honestly is a godsend when you're being swarmed from all sides. Brew commanders are the same, as they are very resistant to the incoming attacks and will try to kill you no matter how badly damaged they are. It's taken me around 4 to 5 shots to kill just the one, but depending on the range, this isn't always the case. Ideally, you want to immobilize them first so you can slow them down, and then move in for the kill via their head. That's all it takes for taking them down. And while it's not that great against chargers or hive guards who are heavily armoured, you can still deal with them, as long as accuracy is in play. Now against the bots, while it may look like it will struggle to place a dent into them, the shotgun does fairly well if you aim for their weak spots. Against fodder troops like brawlers to berserkers, the shotgun will make Swiss cheese of the following automatrons within 1 to 2 shots max. Its fast ergonomics does allow you to react quickly for those that are out your range, but try to close the gap quickly. With thanks to its relative ease, you can easily take a group out at good distances and still be a major threat up close, even if push comes to shove. Against the more armoured units like the Devastators and Rocket Devastators, this is where the weapon will require you to enhance your aim. Now, aiming for the head may look rough to do since the weapon spread is quite wide. However, this actually makes it easier for you to land your headshot even if half your shots miss by an inch. If you manage to place one well-placed shot to the noggin, then it's instant death for them. But of course, in a heated fight, this is always the case when fighting in close-quarter environments. Hence why aiming for the weak points is the main goal to keep in mind. If you can't get the head of a Rocket Devastator, as the full fleet of automatrons have just arrived, then aim for the rocket pods, which are lightly armoured, or even aim for the chassis area but further down where it's more exposed. Simply, while the shotgun with its light pen may look useless on this front, it can kill pretty much any non-armoured to medium armoured units fairly well as long as your aim is good. Do also remember that with the high damage and stagger effects, this is going to make certain annoying enemies a bit more easier to work against. However, as a reminder, I would also advise you to bring a secondary that does have medium pen on it, just as backup. Lastly, we have the Squids, which, like the bug front, is kind of fitting for the shotgun to see a lot of action in. Kind of. Just like the bugs, the shotgun is amazing at destroying the voteless piece by piece, as if you're Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil. It only takes 1 to 2 body shots to kill them, and that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. However, I also recommend you be careful when using the following against them, only because there are so many of them, and only because they can surround you very fast without you even paying attention. Even though you have the advantage, it only takes one from behind to hit you, stun you, and then the rest to finish you off. Also, take in mind the amount of ammo you have, as the more you waste on them, the more easily the overseers can then come in and spark you out. Talking about the overseers, this thing against them can well and truly stun lock them to death for each round you pump into them. Now, against the ones on the ground, I find the shotgun to be more fitting with stopping them in their tracks. A quick shot to the torso will push them back, and then a follow-up would then decimate them from thereafter. Against the elevated ones though, it's also kind of the same, with a bit of a caveat. With how mobile they are, it's kind of hard to track them mid-air with a shotgun, even when you do stun them. I find I'm either lucky with killing them quickly, or outright terrible and just get ganked up upon by even more of their kin. But here's the big question. What about the flesh mobs? While it doesn't stun them, it does do significant amount of damage to them. How significant? Well, enough to where you can kill them, but it's honestly not worth the hassle. The amount of rounds needed to kill just the one is not worth the time or effort, unless you use a thermite grenade and shotgun combo together, to which it will only then require you 2 to 3 shots to kill them. It has its place on the front, and actually seems to be a more ideal front because of the mixed armor types available, which is similar to how the bug front is with the shotgun. So after putting the gun through its paces, it's time for a final verdict. First, the pros. The stagger is S tier, no question. It's the number one reason to use this gun. Being able to stop stalkers mid-lunge or interrupt a charging overseer attack is priceless and will absolutely save you on missions. Second, the raw damage to weak spots and light targets is off the charts. With 605 damage and that tight spread, you can one-tap most armoured and non-armoured units with precise shots. Lastly, the gun just feels good. The round reload mechanic makes it incredibly snappy and responsive, letting you keep up the pressure with a smooth rhythm of firing and reloading. Of course, the biggest weakness, obviously, is the light armor penetration. It's useless against pretty much anything that has medium armor in the game, which tend to be the bots in all honesty. You're forced to either flank or use armor stripping support instead. The second issue is ammo. With only 6 shells in the tube and 44 in reserve, you can burn through your ammo very fast if you're not careful. This weapon demands that you hit your shots, or that you generally bring a supply pack, or find ammo while you go about your mission. So after all that, Is the M90A Halo shotgun really worth buying? If you're a player who constantly gets run down by the faster termites, especially stalkers and hunters, then the answer is 1000% yes. The control it gives you by stopping these enemies cold is something you can't put a price on. It provides a level of security in close quarters that has very few primaries can even dream of doing. It's a specialist tool, and even as a speciality, it's absolutely unmatched. While the light armor penetration is a major drawback that keeps it from being a do-everything powerhouse weapon, it's not a lazy weapon. It's a precision instrument of crowd control. The M90A rewards smart positioning and tactical play with unmatched stopping power against a lot of enemies. It has definitely earned a permanent spot in my bug and squid hunting loadout. But what do you think of the M90A? Is it a keeper to you, or is it just staying in your armory? Let me know your favourite build for it down in the comments. If this deep dive helped you decide whether to spend these medals or not, think about dropping a like and subscribing for more Helldivers 2 analysis. It was good to see you again, divers, and I hope to see you again soon.